into it because I just started playing the fiddle really when I came to Canterbury, and I wanted a chance to get out and get some experience with it. So it's mainly just to get better at my instrument. But I quickly learned that it's not very good for practice at all. You can develop some really bad habits. At least I did. The impulse is to play very loud, very fast, and just trying to bash it out, which for quite a subtle instrument doesn't really work. So quickly, what I started off as like a practice thing turned into just money, and that's more or less it.
Everywhere else I'd lived, you needed a license to busk, whereas in Canterbury it's open to whoever wants to do it. So, it was the first place that I'd been encouraged to do it. I'd played at kind of sessions and open mic nights before, but not playing in the street. They have different qualities I enjoy out of each. Obviously, the RovinOpenMic nights that are happening in Canterbury at the moment it's a very different atmosphere from playing on the street, and you can play in a much different way. An open mic night or in a gig or in a pub, the evening's already set up in that way that people come to listen, and so you can kind of just play introvertedly and just enjoy playing what you're playing. Whereas then when you're busking, it's a different kind of activity. You have to, you've got to project into the street and kind of fill it. As you're saying, you play hard and fast to grab people's attention and to kind of give it a bit of life.
It really is the best job. I mean, okay, you get money, you sit outside in the sun in a nice city such as this, and you get to take smoke breaks whenever you want. You get to go get Subway whenever you want, and you're with your friends and you meet new people.
Or any other food.
Or any other food.
Subway. Or any other ponderance for someone.
And also it's a good time to practice. It gets to about sort of 5, 6, most people have gone, or just jam, write new songs.
The main reason I busk is to get better as well. I think that's the main thing. Just because if you're practicing in your room, you can practice all day, and you think you're really good or whatever, and you think but then you don't realise how good you are until you sort of go out and perform. And I think it's sort of a free stage, if you like. So it makes the day more interesting. Anyway, you meet a lot of very interesting people.
I started busking with my country a few years ago now, quite a few years ago. We just thought we'd give it a go, we'd try it out, and it wasn't really for money. No, it's just something new. If you like playing guitar and singing, then try it out, and then if you get money while you're doing it, then it's a bonus, isn't it?
If I go away knowing that I've made £5 or £3 or 50p doing something I enjoy, not a lot of people get to do that.
No, it's definitely for the music.
And the money helps, obviously.
It depends if you're busking to live or if you're busking for fun, So.
Just looking at the recent tragedy, the guy who died, the amount of support he got just from other buskers, it gave a feeling of solidarity to people.
I think there's definitely a subculture to it. There's a group of faces that everyone knows, like all of the buskers know each other's faces, and there's kind of a camaraderie, I guess, between it all. As you're saying, the recent tragedy sort of exhibited that. And so many people who weren't even involved in busking turned out because the buskers are part of people's kind of sense of what Canterbury is.
busking community.
Yeah, tight little tight-knit community, especially in Canterbury, Every busker knows everyone, and you get to know people who aren't even from around here that come here once a month or something like that. You just get to know them as well, and yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
I think it's a nice community, but we've definitely got some form of clique going on, haven't we? We can't deny that at all. But
it is funny.
Yeah, and how we've got to know each other as well is we join in and play together sometimes. Canterbury's one of the few places you don't need a licence.
London's different, isn't it?
You need, everywhere in London apart from apparently the South Bank. So those who are going to pay are obviously going to take it more seriously. And you do need that, I think. But I think in a town like Canterbury or anywhere like I think it would be terribly unfair to make it official and things like that. I think it would be ridiculous. I can see it happening. Of course it will eventually, because everything good gets ruined. But, it's going to be unfair.
I think as much as I'd like it to just be free for everyone, I can understand in places like the underground where you could just end up with a cacophony of everyone playing all the time. But I think for most places it's an incredibly inhibitive thing, and it kind of stifles the life of the town. It's such a nice thing to walk through a place and for there to be music playing, and just whoever's coming or going can do it as they please.
Me and Tom started doing it. We were discouraged, weren't we? Because people viewed it as begging, a form of begging, which is ridiculous.
I think maybe that's where the idea that you need to legislate for busking and have kind of licensing for it is to discourage just kind of open begging. But I think actually that misses the point of why a lot of people do it. Some people do it like you just for kind of practice, just for getting out in the street, or just because it's kind of fun and interesting way to meet people.
There's a lot of difference between saying, "You got any spare change, please?" and some people getting quite annoyed if they don't get change, and someone standing there playing a song, especially if it's good. If people want to give money, they can, and I don't see any problem with that.
The media, when Tig died, the media picked up on the fact, because Tig was a busker, they didn't even do any research, but they just assumed he was homeless. And they published it in the newspaper that he was homeless.
There are certain prejudices and stereotypes of homeless people and beggars. People would assume I'm a student based on how I dress and my age maybe.
I think people that are scruffy and sit down to busk, even if they're not homeless, will create the impression of homeless.
And along with actually some of the homeless people that are homeless do
There's no
sometimes
smoke without fire sometimes.
So sometimes people...
It's not entirely true, it's just, it's one of those generalisations.
I've had this problem with my dad actually. He doesn't like me being out here because he's got this stereotype of them all being bad and not quite law-abiding. Yeah, homeless, and there is an undercurrent of that sort of prejudice. It's a strange assumption to make. Yeah. Think about it, they're making that assumption based on the fact that we're out here doing what we want to do. Yeah.
Children are quite into the whole thing, and a lot of the time the novelty for their parents to give them money to drop into the thing is nice, but then some children actually ask questions as well, and that's really good.
You do start to really value the opinions of children over adults. I think it makes me happy, I guess, when people just genuinely seem to enjoy it, like I say.
It's always amazes me the reactions you get from children. They're always just what's going on? What is this strange voodoo that's happening? And then they kind of just think dragged off by the Christian.
kid. And
spitting on them.
Mummy, shut it. And really admiring it and thinking it looked like a lot of fun. And it's something that's stuck in my head. Come to Canterbury, see the Buskers.